So I want to be clear when I say this to you, my brother and sister. Very clear. If God has told you to be quiet about a situation, it's not because he's unsure. It's because he's already working in the situation. He is shifting some things. He is moving some things. He is orchestrating some things. And there's a reason silence matters before movement. So just be silent. Like I told you this morning in the morning video, God is preparing you. God is preparing things. He is getting people aligned. So just be quiet. You cannot share everything. There are seasons where God doesn't ask you to do more. He simply says to say less. Say less. And you got to trust him in those moments. I know you want to talk about it. I know you want to share it. I know you're ready to get moving, because a lot of times, like I said, when God gives us something and he tells us something, we're excited about it. We're glad finally the breakthrough is coming. The shift is coming. God, you're moving things. You're doing things, right? And we're excited about it. But God is saying, say less. And that's hard for us who are used to explaining ourselves, who are used to sharing things, sometimes beforehand, updating others or proving our progress, letting people know that God is moving in our life. Yes, I'm finally going to come out of this. Yes, I'm going to be healed. But silence, by God's standard, is not punishment. It is preparation for something so much greater. Again, I tell you, remember Joseph. Remember Samson and Delilah. In the Bible, Nehemiah didn't announce the vision that God gave him, right? Because he moved quietly, inspected privately, and allowed God to go ahead of him to prepare the way, to set hearts in order. And that's what God is doing in your situation. There are some hearts that are hard right now. There are some hearts that the Spirit has to chisel and work on to open that opportunity for you, for that doctor to be prepared to know how to perform your surgery, heal you, for that court case, for God to put the right public defender, right lawyer in position to show you favor. Everybody who says they're going to help you is not really going to help you. And God knows how to orchestrate and move people out of the way. So you got to know, just trust God's timing. Trust God's ways. Some things are fragile in the early stages of it. Not because they're weak, but because God is forming it. Again, like I tell you about a baby. God is forming it. God is doing some things. You got to trust him. And sometimes, for a lot of us, it seems like a risk to trust God. And I say that in love because, listen, we all human. It seems like a risk to trust God because what happens, our natural state is that we want to see progress. We want to see something. We almost want a blueprint. God doesn't work like that. The just shall walk by faith and not by sight. You shouldn't have to see everything. And I know our natural inclination is, God, we want to see. We just want to see just a little ray of light or just a little ray of hope. And God is simply saying, stay silent. Trust me. I've already given you the promise. I've already given you the vision, Habakkuk. Just stay silent. And too much exposure too early can be unnecessary resistance. You don't want that. Some of you, God is telling you he's going to bless you with a business. You tell people, they jealous of you already before you even started mapping out what God has told you to do. Again, Habakkuk reminds us that the vision has an appointed time. The opportunity has an appointed time. The healing has an appointed time. Not your time. We want things to happen in our time frame, not the crowd's timeline, not the experts. You know, the experts will give you a timeline on how healing should happen, how this opportunity should happen, what business should look like. You know, they tell you a business, the first 3 years are non-profitable. You know, you just kind of float and you stand above water. That's not God's timetable. That's not. Remember the 2 fish and 5 loaves? How can we take that and feed over 15? They estimated at 15,000 people because they said 5,000 men and children and women, right? So if you count a woman and a child, that's 15,000. It's not our timing. It's not the expert's timing. It's God's. If God hasn't released you to speak about it yet or to share it with anybody, it's because the timing isn't finished aligning yet. He hasn't prepared everything he's doing. Since God hasn't prepared it yet, just wait. Just wait. Hold on. Silence doesn't mean you miss it. It means it's on schedule. God is working behind the scenes. He's doing it. He's making everything ready. Isaiah tells us God is doing a new thing, but new things often begin silently. That pregnancy, silently. That opportunity, silently. When you see a business opening up, right? When you go by that, let's say the brick and mortar, the business location, right? When you pass by, you normally just see paper in the window. Like they tape that brown paper up, right? Or you'll see a coming soon sign. You don't know what it is. You just know a business is going to be there, but you don't know. You know a baby is in your tummy, women. You just don't know the sex of it yet, right? You got the email saying you're going to have an interview. You don't know what the pay is going to be yet, right? Before the door opens publicly, God always rearranges things privately. Always. David, anointed king, privately. And then had to go on a run from Saul for a little while until he was announced publicly. And sometimes the greatest act of our faith is trusting God without an announcement. Without the announcement, my brother and sister. Proverbs tells us, lean not to your own understanding. We understand the way society tells us things move, shake, how they come into fruition, and how things should happen, right? That is the normal way. But God is, or I'm going to say a natural way, but God is a supernatural God. Faith doesn't always come with updates. It doesn't. You do not need validation to obey God. You don't need affirmation. You don't need anybody's confirmation. You don't need any of those things to trust and obey God. You don't need the applause from people to trust him. And we so often feel like we need people to validate what God has told us. And I know our mindset will say, well, I don't need their validation. I'm just telling them. Yeah, but that psychology says that's a form of validation. That's a form of confirmation that you need somebody to confirm what God has placed in your spirit. If God told you to wait, saying anything, if God has told you he's going to do it, let him finish what he's already started. This is for you, my brother and sister. Trust him. Trust him. Keep your mouth closed. Bridle your tongue, as James tells us to do. Keep your mouth closed. They're going to see it. When God causes it to happen, they are going to see it, and there will be no doubt about it. So if this is your season of silence, stay steady. If you keep feeling that unction in the spirit, don't say nothing. Just wait. You know how it's like your parents tell you, you just better hush your mouth. Don't you say a word. Let that be the spirit speaking to you, because I'm sure it has been. You are not behind. You are definitely not stuck. You are being positioned for greatness. You are being positioned for the blessing. So stay silent. Trust him. God is moving and shifting some things. This is why he's telling you to be silent in this moment. As he shifts and prepares you, just wait. Don't get ahead of him. It's going to happen. Trust him. I pray a blessing over each and every one of you. I pray the hand of God be upon you. I pray that God grants you his peace and his favor. I pray that God rains down blessings on your land in this season. I pray that God prospers everything you put your hands to. I declare it in the name of Jesus according to his word. And I declare according to Isaiah 54:17, no weapon forged against you shall be able to prosper. And every tongue lifted up against you in judgment, God will give you the ability to prove and show to be in the wrong. My brother and sister, be blessed. Just stay silent. Wait on God. He is shifting and moving some things to bless you. Shalom.